The Delaware County Commission meeting for December 20th, 2018 is now in session. Would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Sheriff Barton, would you like to lead us?
I certainly would. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I think it's always fantastic when the sheriff can lead us in the pledge.
To the Pledge of Allegiance.
So, I looked and saw you, I thought it was appropriate. Just like to make some introductions. Again, I'm Gary Merrill, President of the Board. To my left is Commissioner Jeff Benton, and Commissioner Lewis is not able to be with us today. Sarah DeNova, our clerk, and Mike Fromer, our administrator. With that, let's begin.
Resolution number 18-1404, in the matter of approving the electronic record of the proceeding from regular meeting held December 17th, 2018.
So moved.
Motion made, seconded by me. Discussion? Vote?
Vote on the motion 18-1404. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We have no public or elected comment this morning.
Next on the agenda, speaking of the devil. Figuratively speaking.
I hope not, but
Sheriff Martin, I'll let you make introductions and take it from there.
Sheriff Russ Martin of the Delaware County Sheriff's Office. I'd like Justin Rhodes to join me up here, please. We do this from time to time. We appreciate the, we are aware of the Commissioner's busy agenda, but periodically we like to introduce to you some of the key members of our staff and also recognize promotions, let you know how your investment is being played out in the Delaware County Sheriff's Office. And you know as well as I do that for any organization or office to be successful, it's critical to surround yourself with good people. I have a script that I want to read from just briefly, and then I'll make some comments about Justin Rhodes, who was just recently promoted, give him an opportunity to talk for a moment, and then introduce some of the really special people in the audience. So Sergeant Justin Rhodes is a Columbus native, grew up in Reynoldsburg. We've got a Reynoldsburg police officer with us today to keep an eye on him. He studied criminal justice at the Licking Valley Career and Technical Education Center. He's earned his corrections certificate from the Ohio Peace Officers Training Academy in 2015, and he's been with the Delaware County Sheriff's Office for 5 years. Justin's colleagues describe him as upbeat, helpful to inmates and coworkers, and knowledgeable. What sheriff wouldn't want those qualities in a sergeant? Best part of the job is his ability to talk with people and listen and tell to their stories and also share his and not judge them. He was asked recently to share a fondest memory, and this comes from one of our corrections officers. It's about saving a person's life. The man had just been brought into the jail and was a holding cell during the booking process when he took his shirt and was hanging himself. Justin sprang into action, struggled with the inmate, and with the assistance of fellow corrections officers, they prevented the inmate from harming himself. That's the kind of stuff that they do each and every day. We're in the life-saving business, and these men and women are doing a great job of that. One of his greatest career moments, it came during a normal walk-through and cell check. Justin could tell an inmate was just not himself. He appeared depressed. After a 15-minute conversation with this person, Justin discovered there was a lot of family issues and other stressors in his life. But as Justin was leaving, he could tell by the inmate's demeanor that a weight had been lifted, and even his body language revealed an improved attitude. He even expressed his appreciation for Justin taking time to listen to him, for caring. You see, we're doing more than just warehousing prisoners in our jail. We're doing the best we can to protect them and provide some good alternatives for them. We eventually want to integrate them back into society. And that's why it's so valuable to have men and women like Justin who understand that and have empathy. So I'm going to give him a chance to introduce the important people in his family. And I will tell you, in the 5 years that I've worked with Justin, I've seen a continual good attitude. And every time that I've talked to him, he has expressed the value that his family has made in his life. And so I've met some of them for the first time today, and it's apparent to me why he is the man he is today. So I just want to take a moment and introduce our most recent addition to the jail staff team, and we're proud to introduce you to Sergeant Justin Rhodes.
Thanks, Sheriff. Yeah. I'd like to introduce my family, my dad and my mom, my son Aaron, my grandpa's here, my aunt, my cousin, current coworker and former coworker. Without them, I don't think I'd be able to work as much as I do without helping them take care of my son and being able to watch him. Also, my girlfriend, Jessica, she puts up with a lot of stress that I give her, mostly from working from the job and just stress of life, and she puts up with me. And I'd also like to thank you, commissioners, for everything you guys do for us at the county. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's our intent to retreat to their side and have a reception for his family and talk a little bit more about the value that he brings to the office. But again, thank you for allowing us some time on your agenda.
May we get a photo?
Absolutely.
Let's get a photo, and do you have any comments you want to make?
Well, I guess I would just like to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Sergeant Rhodes. It's great to have you in a very important area of our county, and you know, the sheriff's office does a great job. And it's, you know, I think the best sheriff's department in the state, if not the country. And so
I was going to say the county.
So again, thank you for all your hard work and under very difficult circumstances. We recognize that. It's not easy. You have a tough job, but you do a great job, and it's great to meet the family. You must be proud. You should be. So thank you all.
Well, I have the highest respect for our sheriff, and the job is done by our sheriff, but also the people that are working with and for the sheriff and making this county what it is. And the jail specifically, since that's what we're talking about today, the story that was referenced certainly says a lot about your alertness, your capabilities, and the fact that you cared. And there's probably 1,000 other stories we haven't heard. And thank you for service, and thank you for your future service and for the role you're going to play. And with that, let's get a photo. If you guys want to go to the reception, if the sheriff is trying to get your attention, I'll help it.
Kristen, that's kind of it. You're on your own.
Okay, with that, let's proceed.
Resolution number 18-1405, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants on batch number CMA PR 1214, memo transfers and batch numbers MTA PR 1219, and procurement card payments and batch numbers PCA PR 1219.
So moved.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1405. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1406, in the matter of approving the following carry-over purchase orders for 2019.
So moved.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1406. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1407, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
And seconded. Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1407. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1408, in the matter of approving a lease agreement, amendment for the secure storage facilities.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Chief Deputy John Scowden. I appreciate you allowing me to come before you this morning. I'm here to ask for your approval for the lease agreement / amendment for our secure storage facilities. The lease has been in place for many years, and the amendments outlined in this lease amendment are minor but are necessary for the Sheriff's Office to continue to protect the integrity of the property and evidence we are charged to keep safe. The leaser, Mr. Cole, is in full agreement with these amendments, and I would like to say that he has been very amenable to the needs of the Sheriff's Office since we began the lease with him. I thank you for your consideration in this matter.
Very good. Any comments or questions?
Pretty routine. Thanks.
Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1408. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1409, in the matter of approving an agreement between the Delaware County Area Career Center and the Delaware County Sheriff's Office to implement the Adult Education Ohio Basic Peace Officers Training Program.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion?
Thanks, Commissioner. My name is Chief Deputy Dave Wiseman with the Sheriff's Office. This is the same contract we've had in place when we initially started this 3 years ago. The wording and everything is the same. The only thing that's changed has been the financial dollars where the employee makes more now. But everything else is the same as we originally started. It's a shared position as such.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I think this is an important program.
Sure.
If you could give us just kind of a quick update on how it's going.
The program's going very well. We run 2 police academies a year. We hire police officers from there and also throughout the central Ohio area with this program. The Career Center and us allows the Sheriff's Office, as part of this agreement, is they pay half the salary for someone to run the police academy, and in turn the Sheriff's Office gets to use the facilities down there also. So we use that facility for training and such down there, and if you've been to LE Wing, it's a very nice place for us to train also.
How many police officers graduate?
Depends upon the class. Usually it's somewhere between 15 to 20 per class, and the way the program runs, it overlaps like 7 months, so it doesn't do a true like fiscal year for us.
Right.
So between 15 to 20 is what graduates out of each class.
Okay, great. It's good to have that program locally.
Yes, it's great
Career
to have it.
Center is a
Yes.
great partner.
Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1409. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1410, in the matter of authorizing an amendment to the use of a procurement card for the jury office.
So moved.
Seconded, discussion?
Hi, Kristen Schultz, Court Administrator for the General Division of the Common Pleas Court. We are seeking to increase the daily spending for our jury coordinator from $300 to $500, the monthly spending from $500 to $1,000, and the single transaction limit from $250 to $500. And this is primarily for the purpose of purchasing office supplies, depending on the amount of trials we had that month. We purchased juror meals and water and things like that, and we've ran into hitting the limits on some occasions.
Any questions or comments? Makes sense? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1410. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1411, in the matter of declaring a public purpose and authorizing the use of Delaware County funds for the purchase of coffee, meals, refreshments, and other amenities.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Bob Anderson with Job and Family Services. We're requesting authorization to spend up to $380 for our workforce development with the 4-county meeting that we had for lunch.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1411. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1412, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriations for Job and Family Services.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion?
Okay, what I have before you here is we're actually looking at reducing our appropriations or org keys in order to stay within the revenues that were received for the county in our 3 funds.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1412. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thanks, Bob.
Resolution number 18-1413, in the matter of approving the Housing Revolving Loan Fund Administration Agreement between the Delaware County Commissioners and the State of Ohio Development Services Agency.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion?
Good morning, Jenna Gehring, Economic Development Coordinator. This is just an update every 3 years for our revolving loan fund for the housing monies, and I recommend your approval.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 18-1413. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution,
I have a favor. Could you sit over here, add a little balance?
That is true.
Proceed. It's
resolution,
Christmas, I feel like I handle levity.
resolution number 18-1414, resolution of necessity for the purchase of a motor vehicle for the use of the Delaware County Emergency Medical Services Department.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Aaron Jennings, Assistant Chief EMS. Before you, this resolution is for the purchase of a 2018 F-550 4x4 ambulance. This will, the plan is for this to go to Radnor Township Station 4 and serve the residents of the northwest part of the county. The great thing is this is going to be our first 4x4 ambulance chassis because there are some of the township roads, and when we have heavy snows, the township roads and things like that up there, we do have some problems with access. So this will be a great addition to this part of the county. So, and we recommend your approval. I'll answer any questions you have.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1414. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 18-1415, in the matter of approving the right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. We had just one permit application this round, and we have reviewed the proposed work and recommend your approval.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1415. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1416, in the matter of approving a ditch maintenance petition and the ditch maintenance assessments for Britton Woods, Section 1 and 2.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion.
Britton Woods is a small subdivision located off of Red Bank Road in Genoa Township. Includes Section 1 and Section 2 includes 16 lots. This is our standard expedited drainage maintenance petition that will place the storm sewer system on the county's maintenance program, and we recommend your approval.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1416. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1417, in the matter of approving the plat of subdivision for Britton Woods, Section 1.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion.
The plat has been approved by all the required county agencies. Section 1 includes 13 lots, and I recommend your approval.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1417. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1418, in the matter of approving an amended cooperation agreement between the Delaware County and Concord Township to submit an application to the Ohio Public Works Commission.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion.
During the scoring process for the District 17 OPWC projects, we were informed by the District Integrating Committee staff that the application for Concord Road would possibly be a bubble project. And so they were, it appeared that there was not going to be enough money to fund their entire grant request, and they were given the opportunity to revise their request or withdraw it. So or simply not get funded. So they have revised their application, requesting a lower amount. I believe their initial request was about $500,000. They've revised that to $350,000. And this would simply make a very minor edit to the cooperation agreement. The same $50,000 cap would apply for the county portion or the county match to the township funds.
What exactly is the project, Rob?
The project is to improve Clarkshaw Road, do some minor widening, and reconstruct that pavement between Section Line Road and about Sawmill Parkway, the Concord Township line.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1418. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 18-1419, in the matter of approving a compensation adjustment for certain employees under the direction of the Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Don Houston, Deputy Administrator, and I'm recommending your approval of the 3% compensation adjustment for certain employees under the Board of Commissioners. This is proposed in the 2019 budget. It would be effective the first full pay in for 2019, which actually begins on December 29th and paid in January. This would exclude probationary employees who would receive their 3% increase upon their one-year anniversary. And I also am recommending under Section 1D that we clarify the language to indicate that the resolution does not apply to those employees subject to a collective bargaining agreement that negotiated a specific wage adjustment for 2019. We do have two collective bargaining agreements that follow the county compensation plan, those being Regional Sewer District and our Job and Family Services. So I just wanted to make sure that we clarified that and ensure that they were also subject to the 3% wage adjustment. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer those for you.
Did you make note of those changes, or do we need to have the verbiage changed, or you come up with it, just the verbal statement, Eric? And
If it's possible.
That's the intended meaning of the clause.
Yeah.
The,
What are you trying to do?
what I wanted to do was strike when it says this resolution does not apply to those employees in bargaining units. It does in terms of Regional Sewer District and JFS. So if we strike to those employees in bargaining units, I think it clarifies that it would include them.
That clause, you have to read the entire thing. Those employees in bargaining units or those employees subject to a collective bargaining agreement, that negotiated specific wage adjustment for 2019. So did those bargaining units negotiate specific wage adjustment for 2019?
JFS and Regional Sewer did not because they follow the county compensation plan.
Okay. So I'm again trying to figure out why it needs to be changed, because those would not be included in the resolution to limit bargaining agreement.
it says subject to a collective bargaining agreement, so it kind of addresses it, doesn't it?
That's the way I read it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because as I was sitting over here reading it, I thought, okay, it may not be as clear as what it should be.
It's clear to me.
Okay, all right, then we don't.
It's
need
clear to me,
change
but I
it.
did not want to make a change that didn't make sense. So, and obviously intent's been stated of how it should be interpreted. Employees subject to a collective bargaining agreement, so it would exclude those who are not. Okay?
Yeah, since the bargaining units that you mentioned did not negotiate a specific wage adjustment, they would not fall into that limitation.
Okay, all right, that works, thank you.
This is not I think this language was carried over from previous years.
It was.
I'm not sure about the sewer district, but JFS has been on the comp management plan for years.
They have.
Always have addressed this the same way, that they still get the 3%.
Correct,
They did not
yeah,
negotiate specific wage.
and Regional Sewer in their last round of negotiations agreed to the county compensation plan, so, all right, I'm glad to know that.
I didn't want to start making changes that just make it more confusing. Okay, with that, any other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1419. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 18-1420, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriations and establishing new organization keys.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Karen First, Fiscal Manager. This resolution is part of our year-end cleanup to ensure that we are in compliance with all budgetary requirements and to establish new organization keys to be used in the 2019 budget.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1420. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1421, in the matter of approving the year 2019 appropriations.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
She's a little shorter than me, it's all right. So, Brad Lutz, Director of Business Operations and Financial Management. I believe that's my title. It gets a little bit to be a mouthful in the end there, though. Commissioners, I'm pleased to be before you today to present for your approval the 2019 Delaware County budget. This budget is the result of a lot of hard work by many staff persons across the county, but there is one staff person in particular that deserves a lion's share of the praise, and that's Karen First. Without her diligence, dedication, and willingness to learn new responsibilities, this budget would not have received the attention it deserved. I have learned much from her and will continue to do so as we move forward into 2019 and beyond. Thank you, Karen, for your hard work. You are truly a valuable, if not invaluable, asset to this office. I would also like to thank Cy, Jane, and Brad in the Auditor's Office for working with our office, completing our request for help and assistance so quickly. It has made this process significantly easier. The 2019 budget is a reflection of the growth and success this county has experienced. There has been a marked growth in revenues collected, in particular as it relates to sales tax receipts, but there has also been a need for increased expenditures to address the needs of the citizens living in the county thanks to population and development expansion. However, even with this almost exponential growth, the county staffing levels have continued to increase modestly thanks to the elected officials, department heads, and managers embracing efficiency and effectiveness over staffing increases. This approach is represented in the 4.3% increase in general fund operating expenditures as compared to the 2018 budget. Taking an accounting change related to county road maintenance being considered an operating expenditure in 2019 versus capital, the actual percentage increase is 0.1% over the 2018 budget. The county as a whole has embraced a model that the county is able to do more with the current staffing thanks to increased use of technology, modern management techniques, and evaluating positions as they come open to determine if they are necessary going forward or can be modified to help the office and therefore the citizens in new ways. As a result of the minimal increase in operating expenditures, the 8% increase in general fund expenditures is primarily related to capital spending. While the growth in staffing has been minimal through the years, it has resulted in a number of county buildings being stretched to capacity. Nevertheless, there are county offices that would benefit from a new location based on the county's population being concentrated in the southern part of the county or general expansion related to circulation or staff. To address these concerns, the county is investing in the historic courthouse to renovate the existing courtrooms and related offices into offices that can be used by multiple agencies in the county. Also, the capital expenditures reflect the purchase of the soon-to-be vacated Delaware Area Career Center, which will be renovated to allow a number of related agencies to move into a building, creating a one-stop shop of sorts for citizens of the county, particularly those dealing with development. However, the largest amount of capital spending out of the general fund is spent on road infrastructure. There is no shortage of projects in the county due to the increased population and new traffic patterns created by the significant amount of new commercial and residential development. In conclusion, the 2019 budget addresses the needs of the citizens and the elected officials of the county by spending the taxpayers' money in ways that will enhance the community for years to come through modest increases in staffing, a reasonable 3% pay increase for non-union employees, and a significant investment in the county's capital requirements. Thank you to the elected officials, department heads, and managers for working with the Commissioner's Office to complete this budget in a timely and complete manner and allowing the Commissioners to take action today. I would be happy to take any of your questions.
Questions or comments, Commissioner?
Yeah, Brad, how much was the reclass of the engineers operating or maintenance work? It was a little over $3 million, wasn't it?
Just over $3 million.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure I understood. I knew that was in the numbers, and it kind of inflated the expense increase, so artificially. I guess just a couple general comments. I want to thank the entire staff, Karen, Brad, Mike, I know did a lot of work, Jane, all the department heads, the fiscal officers, I'm not sure that's the right title, but fiscal staff in each of the offices and the departments for, again, a disciplined budget. We've maintained, a modest increase in staffing and costs in general, salary and benefits. So again, I want to thank them, applaud them for the fiscal restraint. When times are good, it's easy to want to spend more. Then when times get challenging, it's hard to cut those expenses back. So the best approach is to maintain discipline all the way through the good times and the rough times. So again, I want to thank them. I wanted to thank the sheriff in particular because he had some really new ideas on how he wanted to, run his department or run his office going forward. And he agreed to sit down with us and talk through those strategic initiatives that he wants to do rather than putting them all in this next year's budget, which I really appreciate that we can understand where that needs to go and what he wants to spend on improving an already excellent department or office. So that's all I've got. Again, thanks to everybody for the hard work. And again, I'm glad to endorse this modest budget.
I just wanted to add a couple of things, and I have a little quote I'll read here in just a second. But first of all, Karen, this is the first time in a new format that you've been involved in the budget, and my observations from a distance were about 20 feet apart with the wall in front of us. And I've been impressed with how you've handled things and your professionalism and your quiet strength as you go about doing this project. And you've handled it well from the chair I'm sitting in, and thank you for that, and I appreciate it very much. The budget, as Commissioner Benton indicated, the challenge that I know I feel, and I think the other two commissioners feel, is we want a fiscally responsible budget. We want to protect the interest of the taxpayers. We want to make sure the dollars are invested properly and get the maximum value to the taxpayers. Otherwise, I don't think we've done our job. And I feel good that this budget does help us with that and moves us down that road. This budget, as was alluded to by Brad, has a number of capital expenditures in it, but that really kind of sets the framework for the future and really prepares us for the future as we continue to grow. And the numbers that we're going to grow by over the next 10, 20 years is high. And there's going to be a lot of stress put on us if we don't address the needs now. We're going to be forced to address them later, maybe not in the best time frame. Just a quick quote that I had written. Given the continued population growth in the county, we continue to focus on the capital projects that will facilitate smart growth, both in terms of infrastructure and fiscal management. These projects will lay the foundation for fiscally responsible growth for the next decade. It should also be noted this budget is a result of the hard work of all the county elected officials and our county administrator and our directors. And obviously many people that report to the administrator or the directors have been involved. We should be very proud of this budget. We should be very pleased that I think the fiscal responsibility the commissioners have shown in working with everyone, and I'm excited about voting for it. Commissioner Lewis could not be with us today. She had something that she had to attend to. I know she would like to be here for the vote, but and I think she would like me to just pass on the fact that she couldn't be here today, and unfortunately, but I believe she's supportive. With that, I have nothing else to add. If not, the call for the vote.
Vote on motion 18-1421. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1422, in the matter of canceling the commissioner session scheduled for Monday, December 31st, 2018.
So moved.
And seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-1422. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Brings us to administrative reports.
Good morning, Commissioners. I was going to pass out some thanks on the budgeting process, but I think we've got a lot of that already covered.
Were you going to thank yourself?
No. I kind of got real involved at the beginning, but then when Brad came on, we passed the baton. So, great team effort. You know, one of the things that I reflected on afterward is the requests of all the elected officials in the departments were so well thought out on how to expand their services. You know, every plan, you know, was very articulately laid out on how to take what they do and they're part of the business and take it to the next level. And so it was, like I said, it was great. There were some things that we'll get to maybe, you know, the following year because we couldn't get to everything, but the thought process was very exciting. You know, I know as a resident, in addition to county administrator, it was very exciting to see the progress that's going to be made throughout the county over the years. So that's all I wanted to comment. So,
Mr. Benton.
Yeah, just continuing on that, Brad in particular jumped right in. I think you started right in the middle of the budget process, which is a difficult thing to do. Thankfully, you have a good background in that. And we really did see some improved reporting and analysis and presentation. So again, it's been a better budget process from my standpoint. So I want to thank everyone for that. We did have our DKMM meeting last Tuesday, I think it was, and As always, there's stuff going on there. The EPA plan is being ratified, presumably, and that's an important process. They have to present a plan to the EPA on how they're going to improve recycling and reduce waste over the next 5 years. So there's always some nuances to that that looks like it'll go forward. But DCAM's in good shape, and got the budget approved and so on. I did go to the Franklin County Cook Ditch petition. Is that what it was, Jennifer? Tri-County Ditch petition, which was interesting. We met at the Franklin County Commissioner's office, 26th floor of 373 South High, and there were 5 commissioners there. One from Commissioner Boyce from Franklin County, and then the 3 commissioners from Licking County, and we established the board and going to move through the process, do a viewing, and have the second and third hearings, or first and second hearings scheduled after that. So it's interesting. We've done 500 and some of these ditch petitions, and Franklin County's done 2. And they haven't done one in 10 years. So they truly did not know how to do this. And so our Brett Bacon and Brett Burford kind of led them through the process. It was really interesting. Their developers just don't use this program. So anyway, it was fun, and I'm sure we'll get that done well. Soon to be Judge Shuck is being sworn in tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So that's a really nice event, and congratulations to Judge to-be Shuck on his appointment or election and swearing in. Economic development, Jenna and Bob and Rob and everybody has put together a very nice economic development annual report. If you haven't read it, I would encourage you to read it. As we all know, there's a lot going on in economic development, a lot of successes. The Finance Authority in particular contributed to a lot of really positive projects over the past year. And it's great to see their plan moving along and being executed so well, and they've got a whole bunch of really interesting and important stuff planned for next year and beyond. So I want to congratulate Bob and the whole team on that report for the year. And that's about it, other than wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, because I think this is the last time we'll be together before Tuesday, since Monday is no session, no office hours on Monday. So again, everybody have a great Christmas and be safe.
With that, we do have regional planning tonight. So this close to Christmas, hopefully it won't be a particularly long meeting.
It looks like it'll be short.
And
you never know.
I want to say thank you for representing our county. Commissioner Lewis and I both had conflicts. We couldn't attend, and we only needed a quorum, a majority. Right, so right. I guess I was expecting plenty of representation from Franklin County, so it was down there. But regardless, we had the 5, and we don't get many opportunities to work with our sister counties. We have another one working on with Licking it currently, but generally they fall within your county. This is kind of unique by nature, and we are going to be doing a work session. You mentioned economic development. Sometime, I think in January, we're working on a date. I haven't heard an official date yet, but regarding the 23 corridor plan. So I think that's something that will be interested of a lot of people. And
I've not heard a response back.
Okay, you looked up, so I thought maybe you had a date. So, so that'll be something we look forward to, hopefully in January. And I know the David Stage and I had a conversation about it, and so we'll get that taken care of. And I look forward to a tremendous 2019. I think we've got a lot of great things going on in our county. We talked a little bit about the capital improvements, the renovation of the old courthouse, and the Career Center has the potential to be a huge asset for the county as we transition. We're able to consolidate many of our services, and I think it'll make us more efficient, and we're all going to benefit from that long term. And as Commissioner Benton said, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and although we'll be here next Thursday, many people will probably be out of town, but Merry Christmas. And that's a phrase that not everybody uses anymore, but we should be using it, in my opinion. So we do not have need for executive session. So with that, we are adjourned.